How's it going, YouTube? I did a video on a body that I did for a special project, and the project is this. I have made a budget crawler out of about 92% spare parts. So the chassis, the shocks, tires, wheels, even electronics, all of it is parts out of my parts bin left over from doing the other trucks. So I just want to try to do a quick video here because I'm still don't know how to edit videos, so I'm going to try to do what it is. This is a standard SMT 10 body from an Axial Gravedigger. I did a video on pinching the body. Just some little googly eyes there for some fun character, and then just kind of threw some stickers over all around it. Nothing really fancy there with the body. It's already chopped up from how I had it before on the Gravedigger, so. But there's that kind of unimportant piece. But this is what I really want to show y'all. Is all of this is all spare parts. Now everything's relative. You know, obviously I've spent money on all of it in one way, shape, or form, but just about a week ago, I've been working on this for about a week actually. All of this was just parts in either in bags or in a tote, because I have bags for each type of vehicle I have. I have a TRX4 bag, I have an Element bag, I have an Axial bag of just random small parts and stuff. But I wanted to give you all a little quick overview of what I've done here. It's a SEX102 chassis with AR44 axles, standard straight axles underneath it from the SEX102s. It has all Taxxas electronics. It has an XL5 ESC. It has a Titan 21-turn 550 can motor. I even have the TQ, not the TQI, the TQ remote from the TRX4 Sports. And then the transmission is actually the Element Steath X transmission from the Element Night Runner. TRX4 shocks. And the tires and wheels. The wheels were wheels that I kind of hate, and they were at the bottom of my box. And then some standard foams. Nothing fancy, no fancy foams in this, just standard foams. And then some siped TRX4 Canyon Trail tires on here as well. I do have the optional overdrive inside the Steath X right now, so it's, I think, 11% overdrive at the front right now. I did order some underdrive, or 10% underdrive for the back. So between the transmission and the rear diff, underdrive, overdrive, I should have around 20% overdrive up front. Some things I had to buy specifically was I had to get some shock tower mounts, shock keys, little Chinese servo and axle mount. I wanted to get some brass, and I had to get some wheel hexes. But everything else is all stuff that I had in my parts bin. So, another funny part is that the pinion and spur gear for the transmission is actually from a Taxxas Slash. So, yeah, I thought that was funny. They're upgraded hot racing ones. I think they're like 32 pitch, which is ridiculous. But yeah, and it's noisy because they're both metal. But it was what I had because I was trying to search around for a gear combo. Because the Steath X had this dude here. I don't know the factory. This is a factory one. I don't know what gear ratio that is. And then I had this, which is like a 27 turn tooth, or 27 tooth pinion, but it's too big because you can't slide the motor out that far. So I had to come up with something extra different. I had to drill a hole through the top shaft of the transmission to get that little pin through, so I could slide this on. So yeah, that was a pain, not gonna lie. But other than that, it's a pretty basic setup, I would say. Got the shock keys angled and angled forward. Got the shocks laid down a little bit. Up here, this is actually the factory frame brace that normally is sitting back here between the shock towers on the SEX102, but I have it leaned over and angled to help brace up the shock towers in the back and have me a mount to put the ESC on. Up here, this is actually a Taxxas, I guess, frame-mounted servo piece that goes between the frame rails. I have it kind of doing the same thing, going from side to side, help brace up the front. Also, I put a piece of Lexan up here to stick the receiver to, and then the battery goes right behind here on this little piece. Yeah, with a reusable zip tie. I do have a bunch of these servos, even though this is an aftermarket servo. I do have a bunch, so it is basically spare parts. And then I guess that's pretty much it. The shocks are TRX4 shocks, obviously. I think I have the green spring in the back for the rear. And then I have, this is the factory shock springs for the SEX102s. I have no idea. They seem a little softer than the TRX4 greens, so I put them up front. And then obviously I gave the truck a little bit of a droop to it. And then, you know, it's not bad for the flex. It seems like it works pretty well, although I'm not used to the straight axle turn radius yet, but let me see if I can get this plugged up. Oh, wow, I got it. Cool. All right, so let's get it something to put it off of the table. All right, cool. So, I mean, cool, that works. I've already had it out, tested it. Let's see if it can modulate. Not really. And look at that gear wobbling. I want to see what's going on with that. I did have it out and I tested it before, but it seemed like it did pretty well, actually. Even though it doesn't seem like it low crawls that slow. But I mean, when it's up off the ground, it seems to like launch. Well, let's see if I can do this nice and slow. I mean, it's still kind of fast, but that's okay. The gear ratio up here is, it's got a 56. Hang on. Yeah, 56 and then 11. So that might be why it's kind of a little jumpy. I need a bigger spur. But other than that, I think that it worked out pretty well. Turning radius is a little ridiculous, but it's as far as I can get it to throw. Because unfortunately, the Taxxas Q or TQ receiver or radio, it doesn't allow you to set the endpoints. So I had to mechanically set the endpoints by adjusting these rods. So the servo and axle mount came with this link up here. So I actually had to play around with it, and I cut or chopped the axial link ends and had to put them on there. And I had to sit here and adjust this lower bar down here to get it to not be weird, because one was straight and one was like that when I first set up the truck. So I straightened it back out, and then this side was barely touching the spring, and then this side was like fully pushing into the spring when it was at full lock. So I had to adjust everything mechanically, unfortunately, because I couldn't just set the endpoints or the throw from the receiver or remote. But it seems like it'll do pretty well, I guess. I will probably be doing more running videos here soon, but for now this is pretty much all I can do with anything. But yeah, let me know in the comments how I did. Like I said, this is all spare parts, mainly spare parts. Me personally, I only bought the servo on axle mount, the brass for the front, and wheel hexes. So yeah, let me know how I did, and talk to me in the comments. Thank you.